máa ń pa wọ́n gbogbo everything kò dáa ceiling wọn everything kò dáa ìjókòó tó fi jókòó náà which is chairs is not too good.
The school, I believe by the time you get there now, you will not be able to stand there for complete 3 minutes because they've turned the place to be a latrine.
Then there's another small office, just like a kitchen. We have to squeeze people there again.
Between 2018 and now, BudgIT, through the On Nigeria program funded by MacArthur Foundation, tracked selected SUBEB and education constituency projects in Lagos and Kaduna states to ensure proper implementation. This includes empowering the host communities with the knowledge of project information and budgetary allocations, and the use of FOI requests to demand accountability from the implementing agencies, ministries, and nominating legislators. Between 2017 and 2019, BudgIT, through the grassroots mobilization arm, Tracka, held series of grassroots engagement in Anchau Gari, Meigero, and Adan Agban Kagoro communities in Kubai, Chikun, and Kaura local government areas respectively to educate residents about budgetary allocations for construction of blocks of classrooms in their communities. In Anchau Gari community, there was a budgetary provision to construct a block of 24 classrooms in Anchau Gari Primary School captured under 2016 UBE Intervention Fund in Kaduna State at the cost of 163 million naira.
We got to know about the project with the coming of a tracker who came to the school to inform us if we are aware of a project of this nature. Since then, the headmaster met the technical officer of education and he told me that this is what is going on. So thereafter, we realized that the contractor came to start the projects.
In Adan Agban, also a community in Kaura local government area of Kaduna State, there is a 2018 budgetary provision for the completion of 2 blocks of classrooms with the project cost of 25 million in the community, which it was not aware of.
I came down to Adan Agban community. I sensitized the community members and the village head based on the project that was allocated in their community. So they took me down to the school because I don't know the place. I met the head teacher, person of juvenile. I told him about the constituency project and the amount that was captioned in 2018, which is on 7 million as completion. And he told me that he doesn't know anything about the project, that he has been in the school for some time. The project has been there, abandoned. Nothing has been done for some years. That he came and he met it that way. So I told him about the project. I told them how they can follow up the project and how they can hold their representative accountable. And the representative that was involved in this project was Honorable Gideon.
The situation in Meigero, a community in Chikun local government area, was terrible as the pupils were learning under a tree due to its dilapidated school buildings washed away by erosion.
So when I came, I met the state of the school. It was porous. So we went to the Hakimi, the district head. We spoke about the school. So we got a letter from the district head to write to the ministry in regards to the project and what we want them to do for the school, and which we did that. And at the end of the day, I think after last 2 years, yeah, I came back to check the status of the school. It was brought to my notice that the former headmistress, Mrs. Rhoda, it was brought to my notice that the foundation have started, and I came back, I tracked the school, and we're here.
One of the important initiatives of the federal government is the establishment of the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, which among other things provides counterpart funding for states to encourage them to focus more on primary education. Lagos State has greatly benefited from this, as there are several ongoing school construction projects across the state.
Everything to change. Even some students they are still willing to come. They still want to come back to the school because, in fact, if you look at looking at the building without even seeing what they are going to do ahead, but looking at the environment, it's very okay and conducive.
Tracka has also been monitoring a series of constituency projects for the construction of toilet facilities in 20 schools across Lagos Central Senatorial District, nominated by Senator Oluremi Tinubu, some of which are at various stages of completion.
Right now, work is still ongoing, and anytime soon, maybe the next 3 to 4 months, they might actually complete the project. And all these schools and other schools like that in Lagos are under reconstruction or renovation, one way or the other. And without all these things are made possible due to the advocacy of Tracka and BudgIT.
So the project tracking process is one of the most important processes we engage in at BudgIT with the Tracka arm. And this is important because the fact that a project appears in the budget document doesn't automatically mean that that project will be executed. It's a series of engagement and advocacy that needs to be done at the community level, with the nominating legislator, with the executing agency, in order to ensure that projects that are budgeted for are executed. And this is very, very important because sometimes you find out that projects that are budgeted for gets diverted or get abandoned, or the fact that even communities are not even aware that such projects exist, to be built in their communities.
In March 2018, the then Kaduna State Trackers Project Tracking Officer, Ahmed Dauda, organized another town hall meeting to remobilize the community to demand for the execution of its school project. This led to the foundation laying in May of the same year. However, there has been a series of inconsistencies, from occasional abandonment by the contractor to unresponsiveness by the government since then. Despite Tracka's relentless advocacy, which got the attention of the governor at a point, the project is still not completed. Teachers and pupils have voiced their frustration about the delay, as well as appealed to the state government to speed up the completion of the project.
With the issue of this insecurity that is bothering the whole country, at least if we have fence, we know, yes, all our students will be in the school. There is only one exit route, and that should be the school gates.
For Adan Agban community, succor came after Tracka's advocacy, which led to the completion of the project.
A letter was written to the various agencies involved in the project, and 2 months later, the work began where it was, and now we are in 2021 to get an impact story on the project, and this is the project, the 2 blocks of classroom by my right.
While the building has been completed, it is lacking the much needed furniture for the pupils, as they have to sit on bare floor during their classes.
Kamang block da na last 2019 ba chairs. Mun gan shi ba chairs. So muna so a kawo muna chairs. Muna neman toilet. Muna neman more classroom. Muna neman writing materials like this whiteboard. Muna neman more books for the pupils.
We need computers. We need electricity and chairs. We need compound.
In Meigero, due to Tracka's advocacy, there is an ongoing construction of 2 blocks of classrooms in the community, with a block already in use. This is good news for a community that had no hope of an intervention from the government.
We want to thank BudgIT Tracka for the advocacy, at least through that we've been able to see the 2 classes and other projects that are ongoing.
While the community is grateful for the work done so far, It is also appealing to the state government for speedy completion of the project so that it can fully serve the community.
They should please help us again to make sure that our school have enough teaching materials and even human resources that will make the school to get what they want, and to even help the school to arrive at their mission.
I want to tell them that they should help us and build our school so that we can have enough classes so that we can help our junior ones that are coming through.
It is important to capture the progress being made by subnationals in the education sector, but there is a lot more ground to cover, and therefore the government must do more.
Subnationals need to do more regarding education funding, especially primary education. Some states have actually taken advantage of the provision of SUBEB by providing counterpart funding to fund education projects, while some states are still lagging behind. Lagos, for example, has taken advantage of this provision and has provided counterpart funding to fund some education projects, but more still needs to be done. When you look at Lagos State's budget of 2021, the total expenditure of the budget is over 1 trillion naira, whereas education budget takes only about 100 billion, just a little above 100 billion. And when you compare that with Kaduna, that has a total budget size of just above 200 billion, whereas its own education budget is above 60 billion, you realize that some states are doing more regarding education than others. State government needs to rise up to the occasion. There is no shortcut around this. We have to put more money, more funds in education, especially primary education.
This is the point where we say, let's keep the conversation going. Whatever budget has captured in this documentary is not an end in itself, really. It's part of the process. Today, we are advocating for renovation of schools. Tomorrow, it might be advocacy for increased capacity of teachers. At another time, it may even be advocacy for increased enrollment of children in school, right? Every one of us has a role to play. Let's make our society work. Whether you're a parent, you are a adult in the home, you are government officials, you are community leaders. Every one of us has a role to play in this advocacy for a better society. And there is no how the agitation for a better society will be achieved without priority to education sector. So please play your part, demand transparency and accountability, be involved in government activities around you, and I believe that together we will achieve the society of our dreams. Thank you.
Investing in education is Nigeria's surest way out of poverty and into taking full advantage of its huge human capital. The best time to do this was 30 years ago. The next best time is now.